So good to meet you at this global motivational meeting. We are reading World Scriptures book to inspire and empower positive vibe for the day. This holy book are helping billions of people, families, countries, communities, and the whole world. And will help you to just read these quotes and practice in your daily life. As we are reading this holy book from the beginning, please find all the chapters at our Message to Billion channel. Now we are reading about great inspiration, how to become a happy and prosperous people. And let's read further about wisdom. The primary ends of education. What are the purpose of education? Classical education in all culture of the world was concerned primarily with cultivating virtue. Education was about cultivating the soul, developing a civilized character, and forming good citizens. However, in today's schooling, the focus is on technical knowledge and the skills needed for the complex modern workplace. Character and value get a short shift. Theodore Roosevelt is said to have warned, to educate a man in mind and not in morals is to educate a menace to society. Study of the world scriptures lead us back to consider education's primary ends. Furthermore, distinguish three levels of education. First, education of heart, cultivate the emotional basis for unselfish love. Second, education of norms, deals with the morality of good relationship. Third, academic and technical education follow on these two foundations. Much of the first two levels of education is done at home as the responsibility of parents, yet schools can also play a part, particularly providing character education and marriage education. Given that the deficiencies in character and the marital problem can detract from performance in the workplace, educating for these ends need not be seen as in contradiction to the career orientation of modern school. The primary purpose of education to cultivate virtue. Knowledge is the food of the soul. True learning induces in the mind service of mankind. The end and the aim of wisdom is repentance and good deeds. A faithful study of the liberal arts humanizes character and permits it not to be cruel. Confucius said the superior man extensively studies the literature and restrains himself with the rules of propriety. Thus, he will not violate the way. When things are investigated, knowledge is extended. When knowledge is extended, the will becomes sincere. When the will is sincere, the mind is rectified. When the mind is rectified, the personal life is cultivated. When the personal life is cultivated, the family will be regulated. When the family is regulated, the state will be in order. When the state is in order, there will be peace throughout the world. Because perfect wisdom time and transform him, wrath and concern that does the increase, neither enmity nor ill will take hold of him, nor is there even a tendency toward them. He will be mindful and friendly. It is wonderful how this perfection of wisdom has been set up for the control and the training of the body's powers. You shall therefore lay up with these words of mine in your heart and your soul, and you shall bind them as a sign upon your hand, and they shall be a frontlets between your eyes, and you shall teach them to your children, talking of them when you are sitting in your house, and when you are walking by the way, and when you lie down and when you rise. Does not wisdom call, does not understanding rise her voice on the head beside the way? In the path she taken her stands beside the gates of the town. At the entrance of the portals, she cries aloud, "To you, O man, I call." And my cry is, "The Son of Man. O simple one, learn prudence. O foolish man, pay attention. Here, for I will speak noble things. And from my lips will come that is right. For my mouth will utter truth. Wickedness is an abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are righteousness. There is nothing twisted or crooked in them. They are all straight to him who understands and right to those who find knowledge. Take my instructions instead of silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold, for wisdom is better than jewels. And all that you may desire cannot compare with her. Further, let's see quotes from the second Messiah, Father Sun Moon. Moral education teaches the norm that people should place the public good ahead of self-interest. All people live with a desire for goodness. Therefore, education should teach before you love God, you must love human beings. Live for all humankind, love people and live for their sake. You were born for the sake of others, not for yourself. We have a general idea that people who are good-hearted and sacrificial lead a better life. Moral education everywhere in the world aims at the cultivation of character to this end. Why? In their condition of failiness, people aspire to rise to a higher state. Yet, since heaven cannot instruct each person one at a time in detail, it resorts to implicit teachings using symbols and metaphors. Despite the diversity of human culture, the result of heaven's work is that all moral instruction today tells people to do right and accumulate virtuous deeds. One does not need any education to become an evil person. If a person wants to do evil or become evil, he will do it wherever you teach him or not. So what is the point of education him? No one teaches him to do evil. Still, he becomes evil without thinking about it. On the other hand, it is not easy to become a good person. To become a good person, someone capable of practicing goodness throughout a lifetime, education is indispensable. How nice it would be if we could walk that road easily. However, since good and evil travel in exactly opposite direction, the path of goodness is not easy at all. Conventional schools do not teach about marriage, even though it is a very significant matter. Marriage education is not given much space in the curriculum compared to the seriousness of its problem. There is a lack of education about the needs and aspirations of the opposite sex. There is a lack of education concerning the issues that typically arise after marriage. The schools disregard questions of how to build the happy marriages or how to properly educate children. Instead, they focus on teaching science and mathematics. This is certainly an aberration. Let us create children's education materials about keeping purity before marriage. Let us create education materials on how to make good paternal and peer relationship educational materials on marriages and on parenting, and the educational materials on developing ideal families, extended families, and clans. The family is the school of love. It is most important school of life. Within the family, children cultivate the depth and breadth of their heart to love others. It is education of love and emotion that only parents can provide. and it becomes the foundational stone to form the children's character. The family is also the school teaching virtues, norms, and manners. It is the way of heaven that people receive academic education, physical education, and technical education on the foundation of this primary education of heart and norm. Children surely need to be educated about love. They do not necessarily need their parents to educate them in knowledge, but their parents are essential to educate them about love. Are they providing an education about love when the mother and father fight? Parents should teach by example how people can become one with each other. Hence, the mother and father should be pleasing to heaven. The father should be pleasing to the mother, and the mother pleasing to the father. They should like each other and be parents whom the children like. Likewise, both parents should like all their children. It should be not be the case that the father like only some children and not others. That is why we must receive an education about love in the presence of God and creating on God's love. This education does not begin with human beings. God is their heavenly parent, so God should educate human beings about love. God would want to continue this education until people can fully grasp all the values of their heavenly parent. At that point, they can be said to have reached maturity. But it is recorded in the Bible that Adam and Eve grew up receiving God's love. There is nothing about their receiving love. Instead, the Bible begins with an unpleasant story about their fall. Koreans know well how to face that because they have been well educated about it. Teaching people how to conclude their lives well is the essence of education. So powerful quotes for today. If you have difficulties, please watch one more time this video, share this video as we end this billion. Happy life, subscribe to this marathon, contact me for consultation, cooperation, and become a member of this Heavenly Parents Holy community globally. Stay happy, healthy, and see you tomorrow with more powerful quotes. Like and subscribe to this video. Bye bye for now. Yours, Coach Nikolai Serpov.